Hey folks, I'm Kimberly Crow with Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel, and I have 11 different strategies for you to create promotion for your business, product, service, whatever it is, without using even joint ventures. Now, joint ventures is a huge topic, and it's a great way to promote your products and services, and it's a great way for you to get out there in a bigger way. But I just actually had a question from our audience about how can we promote our program or product or service without using JVs. So I have a couple of ideas for you. All right, number one, finish your book. What? That's right. All of you have a book in you. Lots of you have been intending to create a book, but many of you have started a book but never really finished it, or you have a great idea for a book and it's not out there yet. So the first way to do that is finish your book and get it out there to the masses. Why? Because I actually help people produce audiobooks as well. It's one of my side businesses that I have called I'm Hearing Stories. You can look it up. I'm Hearing Stories, and we produce audiobooks. We've produced over 100 audiobooks. But oftentimes I hear from people, well, I would love to do an audiobook. My book is almost done. It's 90% done. But do you know what not 90% done is? It's not done. The world cannot receive your message and your powerful information if it's still in your brain. So you got to get it out. You got to get it into a book, and you got to finish that book. So number one, finish your book. If you're looking for a resource on how to finish your book, check the notes below. Number two, create an audiobook once you've done that book. That's a great way to promote. You can actually say in your audiobook things like, hey, go to my website if you want more information, or you can download the PDF from right here. If you have visuals in your book that you created, you can actually make them available on your website. And you can say on the audiobook, if you'd like the visual or the graphic or whatever it is that you've created in your book, just go to our website, and it's mywebsite.com/audiobook notes, and they will be able to download a PDF from there. That gives you traffic, and you can actually ask for their name and email address, and you can start promoting your products and services from there. Next, network and go to networking groups. So with COVID, there aren't a lot of networking groups live right now, but there are some. So go out and reach out to them. Meeting somebody in person right now can be very, very powerful, because the world has been slammed by COVID, and we are really craving connection right now. So going to a live networking event, you can get really, really good, deep relationships very quickly if it's your target market. If you're doing a virtual networking event, those can be very powerful. You can have 100 people on an event at once. If you haven't already, come to Speakers Playhouse. Go to speakersplayhouse.com. That's speakersplayhouse.com, and register for this free event every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to noon PST. And come play with us. And you actually can network with 60 to 100 people every single week, speakers and entrepreneurs that are trying to get the word out about who they are and what they do. A great way for you to be able to grow JV relationships, but we're not talking about that. When you get on your networking event, have somebody interact with you. All right. So don't just say, hey, I'm Kimberly and here's my website, and go to it. Have some way where you can follow up with them. That's right. So if you say to them, hey, I'd love to connect with you if you are a woman over 40 that it has children looking to get into college or something like that, and that's your target market, put a 1 in the chat right now, and if that's you, and I will follow up with you directly. Then when they put a 1 in the chat after your talk, go ahead and after you've introduced yourself, go ahead and follow up with those people. Hey, I'd love to connect with you directly. What's your email address, or what's your contact information, right? And then you've got their engagement already. All they had to do is put a 1 in the chat, and that started the conversation. It could be as little as that. With that, then you can continue the conversation to promote your product or program or service. Next, meetup events. Meetup events, a lot of people started to ignore them once COVID hit, because there weren't a lot of live meetup events. False. Now all the meetup events turned virtual, or many of them turned virtual. So this is a great opportunity to go virtual and go to those same networking events. And if there's an event with your target market, it's a great event to go to and start building relationships there. You can promote your products and services. If you talk to the show host or the meetup host and say, hey, I would love to talk about what I have. Is that allowed here? Maybe it is. If it's not, you can start building relationships with those people in meetup and be able to promote your products and programs and services by creating relationships with them if they're your right target market. Speaking on podcasts is an amazing way to get the word out about who you are and what you do. Speaking on podcasts is super easy. It's a really great way to be able to share your message with the world. There are a ton of podcasts out there looking for guests right now, like you, to speak on your subject matter of expertise. And they want for you to be able to be a guest on their show because they're running out of guests. As a matter of fact, there's something called pod fade out there. That means after about 8 to 12 episodes, podcasts just die out. Why do they die out? Because they don't have enough guests. They don't have enough content. You are the answer to their prayers. So get out there and connect with podcast hosts and see if they're serving your same target market, the market that you want to serve. Then get out and see if you can be a guest on their show. Great opportunity to speak on podcasts. If you don't know any podcasts to speak on, come join us at Speakers Playhouse, speakersplayhouse.com every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to noon PST. We would love to see you there. We'll find you some podcasts to get on. Speaking on summits is another really good one. Virtual summits are just like a conference where you would go to a conference and you'd see a bunch of different speakers all speaking on different topics. Now they brought that virtual. Summits are amazing. I actually do a lot of summits myself. I do 3 a year. I used to do 4 a year, but now we actually have clients who are doing them, so I can't actually keep up with my last year, because I did 4 in 2019, 4 in 2020, 4 in 2018, I think even. But then in 2021, I had to slow down and I could only crank out 3 of them. My next one is starting actually next week, if you guys are watching this fairly close to when this is released. And I'll put a link for that in the chat as well. So speaking on summits and getting out there as an expert is even a better way than podcasts. Why? Because they're live. Some of them are live, some of them are recorded, but if they're live, you can actually interact and have a two-way conversation with your potential client. So you can get an opportunity to say, hey, I'd love to connect with you. Put a 1 in the chat if you are this kind of person. If you're a dog owner and looking to get dog training for your dog, which is actually people training. I think we all know that by now, but dog training is awesome for those dog trainers out there. All right. So the speaking on summits is amazing. If you're looking for summits to speak on, please connect with me. I'm booking right now for 9 different summits on all kinds of different subjects. So I would love to connect with you. Next, create your own stage. What? That seems difficult. I don't want to do a whole podcast, Kimberly. All right, you don't have to do a whole podcast, but think about this. Creating a stage is as simple as going live on a virtual platform. So say you're on Facebook and you have a Facebook page and you decide to go live every Wednesday at 1 or Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 3 or Friday at 5 or really anytime, it doesn't matter. But then you bring a guest on and you interview them. You don't know what to talk about? No problem. Interview a guest and have them speak to your subject and be a subject matter expert speaking to your particular audience. A great way to be able to build relationships with joint venture partners, but we're not talking about that today. So own your own stage, create a stage, make it possible for other people to speak. By the way, if you create a stage and have other people to speak, you're going straight to heaven. I checked, I looked it up, it's true. All right, next, pop-up events. If you just decide to do a one-time pop-up event, that can be very powerful to draw people in. It should be on a subject that's very close to their home. It could be on the best dog treats for your dog or whatever it might be. Just do a pop-up event where you have one event. You can post it on Facebook, Eventbrite, Meetup, a variety of places. Have a pop-up event and invite a lot of people to it. And then you can collect information from them by giving a downloadable or asking them to come to your website or just saying, hey, if you're interested in this, put a 1 in the chat or however you're doing it. Connect with them and make sure you get their contact information so that you can follow up with them. I did one on quarantine cocktail hour. Why? Just because it was fun. We did it for entrepreneurs and speakers, and we got a lot of people added to my list and added to my tribe because we were serving them in a fun and interesting pop-up way. We did it right at the beginning of COVID. And everybody was in quarantine. And then we did it for, I think, 7 or 8 weeks in a row. And then finally we sort of gave up on it because we were like, all right, that was fun for a while, but we thought it was going to end. Thought quarantine was going to end. And here we are, still not ending. Okay, so next, Meetup. Meetup is a great way to start new places, not only go to other people's meetups, but start your own. You can do like a 3 meetup package where you can actually have 3 different kinds of meetups, or you can just do 1 to start with and be able to connect with people that way. It's a great way where you can do your pop-up events, or you could do a regular event, or you could advertise your new Facebook Live. A lot of different opportunities there to be able to promote your program without using JVs. Next, here's a big one. Call your existing clients. It's true that about 80% of your business is going to come from about 20% of your clients. So call your existing clients. Show them some love, tell them you appreciate their business, ask how you can serve them further. Repeat business is an enormous thing. They've already crossed that know, like, and trust factor with you. They've already purchased from you once. And what's to say they won't purchase from you again? Give them the opportunity to continue their client journey with you. And last but not least, have fun. Make it fun. Hopefully it's fun for you. Whatever you're choosing to do, make it fun. If you don't love doing Facebook ads, don't do them. If you love doing Facebook ads, right on. But do things that are fun, because then you will perpetuate it and you will come across as a person that people want to do business with. All right, folks, I'm Kimberly Crow, and that was 11 tips on how to promote your program and product without using joint venture partners. I'll see you next time on the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel. And if you haven't already joined our Facebook group, I would love for you to do that. You go to entrepreneursrocketfuel.com/Facebook and join the community and the conversation. I'm Kimberly Crow. Cheers.